Today, we're going to get stuck into Budapest and really try to get a proper feel for the city. We'll be breaking down what's where and, crucially, what you should be doing in each part. Now, the city is split right down the middle by the river Danube. On one side, you've got Buda, and on the other, there's Pest. It's actually incredibly easy to remember if you're reading from left to right. Buda is on the left, and Pest is over on the right. You'll notice the difference between these two sides almost immediately. Buda is all about the hills and the vantage points, while Pest is, for the most part, entirely flat. And here's a bit of a fun fact for you. While most people think Budapest was formed by joining just two cities, Buda and Pest, it was actually a merger of three. You've got Buda, Pest, and the smaller town of Buda, or Old Buda, up in the north. I suppose if they'd tried to squash all three names together, Budapest would have sounded a bit of a mouthful, so they quite sensibly settled on the much simpler Budapest. Our plan is to first get stuck into the very heart of the Pest side of the Danube and tick off some of those all-important historical landmarks. Now, let's kick things off on the south side of Pest, right by the central market hall. I absolutely love visiting local markets in every new city I discover. For me, they're the perfect way to get a proper handle on the flavors of a country. It's where you see what the locals are actually eating. Once you've finished up at the market, you absolutely must take a wander over to Liberty Bridge, or Szabadsághíd in Hungarian. It's easily one of the most unique bridges in Budapest, thanks to that striking green color and its classic, ornate design. And right here, you'll also see those iconic yellow trams crossing the Danube. Here's a bit of a hidden detail for you. If you take a look at the boulevard right in front of the Great Market Hall, you'll notice it forms a sort of semicircle in this part of town. That's actually because it sits exactly where the old city walls of Pest used to stand. And if you look closely enough at some of the newer buildings, you can still see fragments of those original stone walls integrated right into the modern structures. As we continue our journey heading north, we're properly getting stuck into these back streets and, honestly, just admiring the sheer scale of the architecture. Every corner you turn in this part of Pest, you're greeted by these grand, historic facades that really give you a sense of just how important the city was during the Austro-Hungarian era. Now, we've made it to the world-famous Váci Street. This is effectively the main artery of Budapest's shopping and social scene. It's a proper pedestrianized thoroughfare, and honestly, the energy here is just fantastic. And here we have Elizabeth Bridge, or Erzsébet in Hungarian. It's actually named after the legendary Empress Elizabeth, better known as Széchenyi, who was the wife of Emperor Franz Joseph I. And now, we've arrived at the Danube Promenade. This is a brilliant, long stretch of pedestrianized walkway right along the riverbank, and honestly, it's the perfect spot to just take it all in. You've got these truly world-class views of the castle district across the water, those iconic yellow trams rattling past you, and some rather charming statues dotted along the way as well. It's a proper Budapest experience. And here's the concert hall. Just around the corner from the concert hall, right on Városliget Square, sits what is easily one of the most elegant cafes in all of Europe, Café Gerbeaud. Since the 19th century, this place has been a proper symbol of luxury and world-class confectionery. It's got that grand, old-world charm that you just don't find much anymore, and honestly, stepping inside feels like a bit of a time capsule. And here we have the world-famous Chain Bridge. Now, this is a bit of a significant spot, because it was actually the very first permanent bridge to link the two cities of Buda and Pest. Before this, you'd have been crossing by boat or, if you were lucky, walking across the ice in the winter. It's a proper engineering marvel of its time, and honestly, the sheer presence of those stone lions guarding the entrance is just fantastic. We've arrived at St. Stephen's Basilica. It's named after the very first king of Hungary, and honestly, the sheer scale of this place is just breathtaking. If you head inside, there's a bit of a fascinating, if slightly macabre, detail. You can actually find the mummified right hand of St. Stephen himself. It's kept here as a holy relic, which is quite something. But even aside from that, the actual interior is just stunning. No matter where you look, you're met with these incredible, intricate details and gold leaf everywhere. It's a proper masterpiece of design, and you really feel the history pressing in on you here. If you want the absolute best view of the Basilica, you've got to take a quick wander over to Lazar Street. Honestly, from this specific street, the whole structure looks even more majestic. It's that perfect, symmetrical framing that really lets you appreciate the sheer scale of the facade. If you're looking for that money shot for your travel vlog, this is exactly where you need to be standing. And here we are, right on Liberty Square, or Szabadság Square as the locals call it, and honestly, standing here before the absolute crown jewel of the city, you really start to feel the sheer weight of history. I'm talking, of course, about the Hungarian Parliament. It's easily one of the most famous and architecturally striking buildings in all of Europe. It's this proper Neo-Gothic masterpiece and, quite frankly, it's one of the largest and most imposing parliament buildings you'll find anywhere in the entire world.
Díszőrség! Hát! Hossz! Hátra! Hát! Díszmenet! Irány utánam! Lépés! In! Dúj!
But it's not just the exterior that's impressive. If you head inside, and you'll definitely want to book your tickets well in advance for this, the level of opulence is just off the charts. They actually used around 40 kilos of solid gold just to decorate the interior. Right, we're crossing over the river now to explore the Castle Hill area, or Városliget as the locals call it. This is properly situated on the Buda side of the city, and honestly, there are a few ways to tackle this climb. You could jump on a bus, grab a taxi, or even hike it on foot if you're feeling particularly energetic. But, if you want my advice, the absolute standout way to get up there is by taking the historic Funicular. It's easily the most charming route, and you've got to remember, this whole castle district is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so you're literally stepping into a piece of living history. And here we are, kicking things off at one of the most iconic structures on the southern tip of the hill, the Buda Castle, or Budapest Palota. As you make your way towards the palace through the Grand Habsburg Gate, you've absolutely got to stop for a moment. Honestly, the view looking back across the Danube towards Pest is just world-class. And while you're admiring the view, keep a sharp eye out, because you might just spot one of Budapest's famous miniature statues tucked away right here. Now, these are a bit of a local secret, and if you're paying attention as you wander through the city, you'll actually start to find quite a few more of them hidden in the most unexpected places. While you're exploring the castle grounds, you'll come across the Matthias Fountain. It tells the legend of beautiful Helen, Ilonka, who fell in love with the king while he was out hunting in disguise. When she finally realized who he really was, and that he was way out of her reach, she actually died of a broken heart. We've made our way over to the absolutely stunning Matthias Church, or Matthias Templum in Hungarian. It's officially dedicated to the Virgin Mary, the patron saint of Hungary, but everyone knows it by the name of King Matthias Corvinus. This place is a proper legend in itself. It's where the kings of Hungary were traditionally crowned, and you can really feel that royal weight as soon as you step near it. But here's a bit of a fascinating story for you. There's a local legend from the Ottoman era that says during the siege of Buda, an explosion caused a wall to collapse, revealing a hidden statue of the Virgin Mary that had been bricked up for years. Apparently, her sudden appearance right in front of the praying Turks completely shattered their morale, and the city was retaken by Christian forces shortly after. We've finally made it to the Fisherman's Bastion, or Halas Bastia. It's got this proper fairy tale feel to it. And honestly, if you're looking for the absolute best perspective of the Parliament building, you've got to be right here for sunrise or sunset. The way the light hits that stone is just world-class. A bit of a pro tip for you, most of the lower terraces are actually free all day, and while they do charge for the upper towers during the day, if you come here early in the morning or later in the evening, they're often completely open to wander through for free. The name itself is a bit of a nod to the Guild of Fishermen who were actually responsible for defending this stretch of the walls back in the day. And if you look at these 7 distinct towers, they're not just for show, they actually represent the 7 Hungarian tribal chieftains who first arrived in the Pannonian Basin and founded what we now know as Hungary. It's a proper piece of national symbolism wrapped up in some truly stunning architecture. And honestly, it's no surprise that this place is a massive magnet for filmmakers and musicians alike. You might actually recognize these ramparts from quite a few films, even the likes of Selena Gomez and Ellie Goulding have filmed their music videos right here. We've been doing quite a bit of sightseeing so far, but if you're looking for a proper escape from the hustle and bustle of the city, honestly, you've got to head over to Margaret Island. It's sitting right there in the middle of the Danube, and it's a bit of a lush green oasis. It's got everything from swimming pools and thermal baths to these lovely open parks where you can just sit back and relax. The island itself is just under 3 kilometers long, so it's perfectly manageable. Now, you could wander through on foot, but if you're feeling a bit like us and want to save your energy for more exploring, I'd highly recommend renting one of these electric buggies. It's easily the most fun way to get around, and honestly, cruising through the greenery like this is just a brilliant way to spend an afternoon. Another massive green space we haven't touched on yet is Gellert Hill. Right at the very top, you've got the iconic Liberty statue watching over the entire city, and the views from up there are easily some of the most dramatic in all of Budapest. But here's the best bit, once you've tackled that hill, you can head right back down to the base and find the world-famous Gellert Baths. Now, these are properly legendary. If you really want to do Budapest properly, you've got to spend an afternoon at the baths. And honestly, it doesn't get more iconic than the Széchenyi Thermal Baths. This place is massive, it's actually the largest medicinal bath in all of Europe, with well over 100 years of history behind it. It's a proper Budapest institution, and trust me, soaking in these waters is just a brilliant way to wrap up a day of exploring. The Széchenyi Baths are actually located right in the heart of the historic city park. It's a bit of a significant spot, as it was actually one of the very first public parks in the entire world. But the real standout feature here has to be Városliget Castle. It's this brilliant, slightly eccentric mix of different architectural styles from across Hungary's history. Here's a bit of a fascinating detail, it was actually inspired by a real castle that's now over in Transylvania, Romania. And here we are at Hero Square, surrounded by statues of Hungary's most legendary kings and leaders. From this spot, the famous Andrássy Avenue leads you straight back into the heart of the city. The square was built to celebrate the arrival of the Hungarians in the Carpathian Basin. Its main landmark is this massive, 36-meter-tall column topped with the Archangel Gabriel. Right at the base, you'll see the statues of the 7 tribal chiefs on horseback, and behind them, in these huge semicircular colonnades, are the legendary kings and heroes who shaped Hungarian history. The square is flanked by museums on both sides. If you're wandering around Hero Square, you've absolutely got to make a detour to the neighboring Museum of Ethnography. And honestly, when I say you need to go to the museum, I mean that quite literally, you've got to head right up onto the roof. This building is easily one of the most modern and architecturally striking structures in the entire world, and the standout feature here is this massive, publicly accessible green roof. If you really want to see exactly where this city is heading, you've got to look a bit further south. Right there, reaching up into the sky, is the MOL Campus. Standing at 143 meters, it's currently the tallest building in all of Hungary, and honestly, it's a bit of a significant statement. It's a proper glass and steel marvel. But the real magic happens when you head right up to the SkyDeck. From this open terrace, you truly start to understand why the whole world is in love with Budapest. You've got the entire city laid out beneath you, from the winding Danube right across to the distant Buda Hills. This is Budapest, a completely new, ultra-modern 21st century district rising from the ground. Budapest isn't just looking back at its glorious past anymore. From the top of the MOL building, it's looking straight into the future. And trust me, the view is just world-class. In fact, I was so impressed by this place that I've actually done a full, dedicated video just on this building, but more on that next time. Well, there you have it. I really hope this guide has inspired you to come and experience Budapest for yourself. It's a truly world-class city with so much to offer. If you want to see more of my travels and get more of these insider tips, do make sure to check out my other videos and, of course, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!